It is Saturday, September 4th, 2021 at 1:44 a.m. Alright, let's take a look. At Bible verses, we have dailyverses.net, verse of the day. For as in Adam all die, so in Christ all will be made alive. 1 Corinthians 15:22. Alright, let's take a little perusal down my Twitter feed. We got some science news. It is the first firm evidence of a rare cosmic phenomenon. It says astronomers may have seen a star gulp down a black hole and then explode. That's kind of intense. It says it took sleuthing through data collected by a variety of observatories to piece together the first firm evidence of apparently a star gulping down a black hole, which is quite creepy. Alright, next, somebody actually posted, Mika Rantanen. She posted, the forecast 10 days ago appeared to be quite good. Is that a snowflake? Apparently, in their country, snowflakes are starting to show up on this side of, winter. Getting closer. Alright, next from Massimo. In an experiment, scientists sedated plants like the Venus flytrap. When the drugs wore off, the plants came back to life, almost as if they were regaining consciousness. Was this telling us plants are conscious? That is quite creepy, but it is quite cool because plants, who knows exactly the extent of their consciousness, if they are, conscious, if they have like human consciousness, uh, just thoughts and things like this, or is it just plants feeling around and, who knows the extent of that. This is quite interesting. I felt like retweeting that. Alright, next, NBC News. Kim Jong-un rejects foreign COVID-19 vaccines offer and urges North Korea to fight pandemic in quote-unquote our style. So apparently, Kim previously called for North Koreans to brace for prolonged COVID-19 restrictions, indicating the nation's borders would stay closed. Alright, so North Korea deciding to fight it their style. Hopefully he doesn't get killed by somebody running countries. Apparently there was a lot of reports saying that people who, or like presidents who refused vaccinations in their country, they would get hits on them and possibly get either killed or the government thrown over because they wanted the vaccines to be pushed onto the country. Anyways, earthquake robot. A 5.0 magnitude earthquake occurred in Hastings, New Zealand. 26.7 miles south-southwest of Hastings, New Zealand. So heads up, New Zealand, getting a little bit of a rumble. Alright. Also, I had posted, I retweeted, Fox News 4 saying the school board members had an emergency meeting to talk about the increase of COVID-19 in their district, and they were trying to bring back remote learning. So I've posted it's coming back to online learning. Who knows if they're gonna open more and more schools on online learning because of the sickness that's going around. All right. From the Hill, California hospitals are running out of ICU beds, health officials are saying. I've been seeing so many posts of people saying that either somebody passed away or somebody wasn't treated after trying 26 different hospitals in the area and it being full, and then the person passing away because there were no free ICU beds. That is so scary and spooky. Please pray for the people that are having emergencies, because even if it's not a COVID emergency, if it's just a regular emergency, either a heart attack, you broke a leg or something, you're not going to be treated if these hospitals are closed and there's no ICU beds, and people have to fend for themselves either in their home or pray that some smaller clinic is open and try to help them, because this is spooky stuff, guys. Alright, next from AccuWeather. Mount Etna has blown a rare giant smoke ring during its second spectacular eruption so far this month. Mount Etna has blown a rare giant smoke ring during its second spectacular eruption. Despite the eruption, flights are still going. So, Mount Etna being active. Alright, and this is my post. What I said says, kind of watching as everything and everyone goes through these last days. God's day is approaching, and it's going to be a doozy. Stay safe and prayers for everyone. Have a happy long 4th day weekend. Yeah. Alright, from Peter Kovacs. He said, we have no internet, no power. The mail isn't delivered. My Amazon order was supposed to arrive on 9/2nd, but I haven't seen any of their trucks. Yet an ancient device for conveying information, relying on ink and paper, has been sitting on my driveway every morning since Hurricane Ida. So apparently, newspapers have been delivered, even though mail and the rest of the stuff isn't delivered. Amazing. Alright, from Sam T. Look at this. Boom. Horses or deer or antlers, some kind of like a either horses or moose or something in the highway. He nearly hit them. He basically drove right between them. Wow, look at that. Yeah, that's insane. Intense. Alright, Marks Brownlee posted, if you're having friends considering buying iPhones right now, be the friend that tells them to wait if they can. There's another 2 weeks or so till the new ones drop, and the price of the old one drops, like clockwork. This concludes my PSA. So he's getting out the word out that if you wait a couple more weeks, instead of buying a new iPhone, the newer ones will drop. So it's a heads up for people who are interested in buying iPhones. Alright, next, from Breaking Weather and AccuWeather, Larry is currently forecast to reach Category 4 strength. Larry could undergo rapid intensification and become a Category 4 hurricane as it approaches the islands. Alright, so, excuse me, the Bahama Islands, not the Hawaiian Islands. But yeah, it's in the Atlantic. Alright guys, let's take a look at some Strange Sound news. We have streets turn into raging rivers as vicious flash floods wreak havoc in central and eastern Spain. Alright, there's water everywhere. Heavy rainfall on Wednesday caused flooding in parts of central and eastern Spain. The provinces of Tarragona, Castellón, and Toledo were particularly affected by the storms, while in Madrid the rising waters flooded homes and created significant traffic disruption. On Thursday, parts of the mainland Spain, as well as the Balearic Islands, were on the National Weather Agency Aramit's yellow alert level for rain and thunderstorms. So heads up, Spain. Lots and lots of flooding. So much flooding happening around the world. Alright, next. Top health officials push back against Biden's booster jab plans. Just as President Biden was promising to unveil new federal measures for combating the Delta variant next week, dropped a bombshell report claiming the New York Times dropped a bombshell report claiming that the heads of the CDC and FDA have advised the White House to scale back its plan for booster shots. During a meeting at the White House, they reportedly asked the White House pandemic coordinator Jeff Zients for more time to collect data on the efficiency of booster shots, according to the New York Times resources. So they're having second thoughts on the boosters. Alright, next. The electrical grid is becoming increasingly vulnerable to catastrophic failure. When talking about the electrical grid, talking about the United States electrical grid. It says future electricity systems must be made more resilient. Prolonged blackouts in Louisiana following Hurricane Ida, a reminder that the power grid needs to become more resilient as well as reliable if even more services such as electric vehicles are going to depend on it in the future. The electricity system is already directly responsible for providing a wide range of energy services in homes, offices, and factories, including space heating, air conditioning, cooking, refrigeration, and power. The grid is also at the heart of a collection of other critical systems, including oil and gas supply, water and sewage, transport, communications, public safety, and healthcare, which cannot function properly without it. The future of the grid is likely to be responsible for the provision of even more energy services as policymakers push to electrify many remaining services as part of the strategy for achieving net zero emissions. But the rush to to electrify the entire system, policymakers may be inadvertently increasing the vulnerability of the economic society in the event of a large area, long duration power failure. Rather, the several closely connected but separate systems for electricity, gas, oil, and transport in future, there will be only one very tightly integrated system, increasing the vulnerability to catastrophic failure. The risk creating by linking formerly separate systems in a central system prone to a single point of failure has been understood for decades. In particular, the more tightly coupled systems become, the greater the risk unanticipated problem if one could cascade through the whole. At present, blackouts render some services unavailable, lighting and power, but households and businesses may be able to use others, gas heating, gasoline vehicles. In future, blackouts could disrupt substantially all energy services. So that's a heads up for the country. Also, as if you go back through my videos, you see that the CDC, excuse me, not the CDC. Let me look it up. The power grid vulnerable. Um, Apparently not the CDC. I keep thinking CDC because of the COVID stuff, but the National Research Council stated that the U.S. power grid is vulnerable to intelligent multi-site attacks by knowledgeable attackers intent on causing maximum physical damage to key components on a wide geographical scale. So basically, the country has been told that the power grid is vulnerable. It is not tip-top shape, and it could be hacked and attacked. Just wanted to show you guys that. Also, Tesla delays Cybertruck to late 2022. Color is not surprised. Elon Musk has announced that Tesla is delaying the Cybertruck to late 2022. Alright, so I'm just gonna leave you guys a link for this. I don't want to read the whole article. Alright, next we have Larry in the Atlantic, and then Disturbance 1 with 0% chance of cyclone formation in 48 hours, and formation chance through 5 days low at 30%. So this is possibly heading into the Gulf, this disturbance. It says it surfaced through over portions of Central America and the southern Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorm activity. This system is expected to move northwestward during the next day or so, bringing locally heavy rains to the area. The disturbance is forecast to emerge over the southwestern or south central Gulf of Mexico on Sunday, and then move northward and northwestward over the central Gulf of Mexico through the middle of next week. Unfavorable upper-level winds are expected to limit development through Monday, but environmental conditions could become marginally favorable for some gradual development on Tuesday or Wednesday. So we got 0% chance of formation in 48 hours, but 30% in 5 days. So we got to keep an eye on this disturbance, possibly heading into the Gulf, and who knows what could develop once it gets to the warmer waters of the Gulf. Then we have Hurricane Larry. As of 1100 p.m., it is maximum sustained winds of 100 knots at 115 miles an hour, minimum central pressure of 965 millibars, located at 15.5 north and 43.3 west, movement west-northwest at 14 knots or 60 miles an hour. So, Hurricane Larry, let's take a look at what Larry's got. Larry's got major hurricanes all the way in the forecast, not just hurricane, but major hurricane status as it approaches the western side of the Atlantic. By 8 p.m. on Saturday, major hurricane. By 8 a.m. on Monday, major hurricane. By 8 p.m. on Tuesday, still in the more uncertain part of the cone, but it's still major hurricane. And 8 p.m. on Wednesday, major hurricane as it approaches the Bahamas. So please not the Bahamas and the Bermuda right here. So please pray for Bermuda and the whoever decides to be in the way of this storm. Pretty spooky. It has maximum sustained winds of 150 miles an hour. Center of location is 15.5 north and 43.3 west. Alright, now let's take a look at the next 5 asteroid approaches from Jet Propulsion Laboratory from the California Institute of Technology with NASA. It says the next asteroid approximate size is 210 feet in size. Airplane size, the name is 2021 QB3. The closest Earth approach, 416,000 miles from Earth. That is quite close. 416,000 miles from Earth is not that far. On September 3rd. Alright, approximate size for the next asteroid is 140 feet, about airplane size. The name is 2015 SW6. 3,790,000 miles from Earth. On September 5th, 2021, it will be passing by Earth. Alright, the next asteroid, approximately the size of 160 feet, about an airplane size, named 2021 QM1, 1,670 miles, 1,670,000 miles from Earth. It will be passing by on September 6th, 2021. And then the next asteroid is 260 feet, building size, quite bigger, a little bit bigger than airplane size. It is building size. 2021 QW, 3,420,000 miles from Earth, will be passing by Earth on September 6th. And then the last of the 5 close approach asteroids is approximate size is 86 feet, airplane size. The name of the asteroid is 2021 QH1. The closest Earth approach is 535,000 miles from Earth. That's a bit closer. On September 7th, 2021. So, just a heads up so you guys know what the next 5 asteroids are and what is happening in the sky. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Hit like and subscribe for more news. Yeah, I was gonna read a whole article about Joe Biden and his quirks because I had heard something on Twitter. So I don't know how accurate this is or how inaccurate, but apparently Joe Biden hasn't been getting signed guests in Delaware. He goes to Delaware because he doesn't like the White House as much. So he goes to Delaware, and in Delaware he's been having guests that don't sign into, the guest book, as you could say. And people are wondering who are these mystery guests that he's having in Delaware. Just wanted to share. Don't know how accurate this news is, because of course it's Twitter, but you never know. Just wanted to share that news. Alright guys, see you next time. God bless you guys.